We're going to take a look at Beatles tune. Surprise, surprise. This Boy. Now this was the B-side to their 5th single, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And there are some really cool things going on in this song that make it quite different than a lot of others. It has a very standard chord progression, kind of a cliche chord progression for a while, and then an unusual bridge. And we're going to do this as an ear training one. So in the next segment I'm going to play it for you blind. So I want you to, the first thing I want to encourage is go listen to it, pay close attention to the chord progression, see if you can figure out at least the key, the chords, the verse uses only chords from one key. But we'll talk about playing the chords just as standard triads, major and minor, and then also expanding them into 7th chords. Anyway, the song features some really cool stuff, particularly neat 3-part harmony between John, Paul, and George. And but it's a great ear training thing. We'll talk. George did very little in there, but there really are 2 guitars. Well, George was strumming the guitar and then threw in a nice little fill at the end. So pay attention to that too and see if you can figure out what's going on. In the next segment I will play all the little parts that I want you to be kind of hearing sort of stripped down so that they're not crossed up in the recording. Now the original recording, this was a single, so it didn't show up on an album till later here in the US. And you can find it on Past Masters Volume 1, which was their collection of singles. Following the A side of this, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Okay, we'll come back to that. No, we maybe have already done that. I don't know yet. Depends on when you're seeing this. So, in any case, in the next segment, I will play through the chord progression and some of the little things that happen in This Boy, and I have one more thing to tell you about it right now, but I can't remember what it is. The key is, go listen to it, get as far as you can first, figure out the timing, the strumming, at least the key, and in the next segment, hopefully that'll all become a little more obvious. Let's start with what I might consider the skeleton version of the chord progression, where you're just going to hear the chords very simple, 2 shot hits each. Strumming. So there you have most of the stuff that we have to pull from in this song. There's also a little ending. What is it? Let me think. Okay, so there you've heard and seen a little bit of, obviously, what is going on in this song. So hopefully you have an idea of the rhythm, the key, the chords. I will play through the bridge one more time because there are some unusual chords. The hints here are that the first section, the verse, and the song just has 3 verses. It goes verse, verse, bridge, verse, and then a little tag at the end that just keeps running through the same chord progression. It's a 4-chord progression. There is the skeleton version again. Here is the version with the extended chords. That was a little bit of the lesson that I put together on This Boy. Now, as I do with a lot of lessons, we work on them as ear training things, and yeah, so I play through them to where you can hear them but can't see them. And that's kind of the whole point. It's a really important thing for students to be able to develop. So, you know, quite a few of the lessons that I do here at Totally Guitars, we start with the music stand in the way. Yes, I know, it doesn't seem like a good way to show a lesson, but the point of a lot of the stuff I do at Totally Guitars is to not just show you how to play the song, but how to become a better musician. learn to listen. So if you'd like to see that lesson, it's up now as part of the Target program at TotallyGuitars, which is our monthly subscription program, also available as an individual lesson. But as I mentioned in that segment that you just saw, the best plan is go listen to the original, see what you can figure out, and do your theory homework. Understand what chords are in what keys, particularly the 5 common keys to play in on the guitar: A, C, D, E, and G. Got it? Anyway, there's also all kinds of other cool stuff at TotallyGuitars, where there's a lot of free stuff, is where I'm kind of going with this. Gotta always mention that, because people come over there and sometimes say, hey, what do you got for a beginner? There's a complete free beginner's course to get you started that can take you into going in lots of different directions. So come visit us when you can at TotallyGuitars.